Hey everyone, it's Paige. We're back for another YouTube video today. I just did a finger gun. I don't know who I am right now. Quarantine is obviously getting to me. So today we're going to do some at-home full swing drills today. We're going to focus on impact. So I hope you guys are doing well at home, staying safe and staying sane. So let's just get right into our impact drills. So the first thing that you're going to need is something to hit. And I'm not talking about a golf one, you need something like an impact bag. So if you don't have that, I am using sandbags that we just bought and have at home. You can also use a head cover, you can use an old pillow, really anything that's gonna kind of stop your movement will be perfect for you. Nothing too firm or hard. I can't say a lot of golf terms because all of you guys, when I say this stuff, leave creepy comments down below. But I'm talking about an object that's not too hard or too firm, because when you come into it with a lot of speed, you can actually hurt your wrist. So it needs to have a little bit of give into it. So we're gonna be working on our impact position. So you're gonna step up to the bag as if it's a golf ball. And then when we're coming down, we really wanna work on our impact. So you wanna come in with it almost with your hands leading, and you don't want to come in open with the club face like that, because then obviously it's going to go to the right, and you obviously don't want to have it too shut. So you don't want the heel leading or the toe leading. So when you come back, you're going to come down and really feel like you're pushing into the bag. Like I said, you don't have to swing it really hard. That's not the point of this drill. Is to just see how your hands are working and how you're hitting impact. Also, you don't want to stand here and work on your hands. You want your whole body to move into it. And so when I'm trying to sense impact, my legs, if you can watch, my legs are driving down into the bag with my left hand leading. And it's almost like a lever movement with your arm too. So when you're coming in, you're pushing down into it. And you're turning your hips. And you're just gonna keep repeating that over and over again until you feel really good about your impact position. It's a really simple and easy drill. And like I said, you don't want anything too hard or firm, something with a little bit of give, and you don't have to swing really hard. You're just focusing in on your positions. So I'm making this up as I go, and I'm improvising a drill that I did with Golf Digest years ago, and we actually used a spatula to hit the wall, and you wanted the spatula to be flat. So we're gonna try to do it with a club and a flat surface. It's not exactly the same thing, and you can use it with the spatula, but what we're working on here is the movement of your hand. A lot of people don't realize that in impact, your hand actually kind of like bows and turns down, and that's what you should be doing. It's a really weird, kind of odd movement, so that's what we're focusing on here. It's not exactly perfect, but you'll get the idea, and anything will help. You want a flat surface. You don't want to come with your shaft hitting the wall. You just want your club head to be right against it. And so if I'm coming into it, and do this really slowly, if I'm coming into it and my hand doesn't move and it almost kind of, the butt end is leading, I'm going to have an open club face. Obviously this is exaggerated, but you get it. I'm gonna have an open club face. You can see where the club face is compared to the wall. And if I come too far down, the toe will be leading. This is pretty much the same as the impact bag that we were talking about, but you can just really see like what your club face is doing. And so this is kind of the correct movement. You just almost want to lean into it, kind of get that feeling of like what your hand is doing, and you can feel it bow a little bit. So when you come down, to get it flat, you're going to have to bow your hand to get it straight on. So you have to feel that movement of it kind of turning down. It's almost like the mark on your glove is turning down into the ground. You can do this without a flat surface. I mean, you're just trying to get the movement. This just is more visual, and you can sense what you're doing. The hand motion is the most important part of having good impact, and a lot of people don't realize how your hand should be working and how it should be turning down. And I think that's why a lot of people tend to slice it, or they kind of flip at it, because that movement seems a little bit unnatural and like you shouldn't be doing it. You think that, oh, it's almost like I should be straight at it at impact, but it's really kind of like that bowing movement and turning down into it with the hands a little bit ahead of the club face. So it'll never be straight, it's gonna be ahead. So really watch the way like my hand is moving. Much easier to do when you have a momentum through it, because you get the lag, so the head kind of stays behind it, so you get that stretch, and so it's easier to turn it down and through it. The most important thing is repetition, so making sure that you hit the positions over and over and over again. So these are great drills for that, but really the most important thing is just practicing this movement right here, making sure you're hitting impact. So just keep on practicing it as much as possible. So we're going to talk about grips, especially when I'm talking about that bowing motion with your wrists. If you have the wrong grip, it's going to be hard to find that impact position, and you're going to actually have to make adjustments to be in the right position. I know this because I don't have the best grip and I struggle with it, so sometimes I have to come a little bit underneath it to end up having to square it up. But if you have a great grip, it's much easier to find that solid impact position. So there's a couple grips that you can do. Obviously you have the 10 finger. I don't recommend this at all. It's great for beginners or kids, but after that you're gonna switch over to one of these two grips. The first one is an overlap. An overlap is where you basically put your pinky finger in between this slot right here, between your pointer finger and your middle finger. And so you just rest it right in there. And this is what I do. It just feels the most comfortable to me. The next thing is the interlock grip, and instead of resting it right here, you're gonna actually interlock it underneath your pointer finger, and then that's the interlock grip. Again, not one grip is right or wrong, it's just whatever feels comfortable to you. The next most important thing is to have more of a neutral grip. I like to have the V's pointed up my shoulder line. I tend to get a little bit weak, and so when this affects my impact, because I can't roll my hands over, I tend to do it too much, and so I have to dip back to kind of offset the way my grip is set. So I have to make sure that I focus on this as well. And so I make sure that the V's are pointing up, and this is a grip tip that Jason Kokrak gave me in a Pro-Am. He said that my thumb was going along the shaft line, and I was gripping it so hard, and I was flipping it over and hitting big draws, we'll call them. And so make sure that the thumb is resting along so you don't have too much tension in your right hand. So a weak grip is when your hand wraps over too much, and then a strong grip is when it is over on the right side. So weak is left, strong is right. If you have a strong grip, you're gonna really have to turn it over to make sure you hit impact. So this is why having a good neutral grip is the best way to ensure that you're gonna hit a solid impact position. So that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed this home impact golf lesson today. Again, we were kind of going along with it. I'm not really sure if it was necessary to go against the wall. You can try it if you want, if you're more of a visual or field learner. You can try it with a spatula. Basically, you do the same thing. You hold a spatula in your hand and you want to hit the wall and you want it to be flat. We went over our impact drills. We worked on our grip a little bit, but they need to go together. So make sure you start with your grip first. Make sure that's perfect, and then move on to your impact drills. Don't forget to leave a comment down below on if you are interested in any more drills, or if you just want to say, hey, I love reading all of your comments. They make me really happy. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Okay, I'm done. See you guys next Thursday.